It began as a hushed conversation behind Kensington Palace walls that aides tried to downplay and courtiers quickly silenced. But the look on Princess Catherine's face as she exited that private meeting said everything the palace couldn't. Something was wrong, and it involved Charlotte. What was first dismissed as a rumor soon turned into a royal firestorm, now confirmed by the very people who fought to protect it. Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. For weeks, whispers had been circulating through royal circles. They were vague at first, little more than fragments of concern exchanged quietly between insiders who rarely agreed on anything. Yet the rumors refused to disappear. Instead, they grew louder. Questions began emerging about unusual schedule changes, unexpected private consultations, and a level of secrecy that even veteran palace observers found difficult to explain. Then came the meeting that changed everything. Behind closed doors, Princess Catherine and Prince William reportedly sat down with medical advisors in a discussion so sensitive that only a small handful of trusted individuals were permitted anywhere near it. The details remained hidden from public view, but the atmosphere surrounding the gathering immediately sparked concern. Palace aides, who would normally move quickly to calm speculation, suddenly became guarded. Requests for clarification were met with silence. Questions were carefully redirected. The usual machinery designed to control royal narratives appeared to freeze in place. That silence spoke volumes. As Catherine emerged from the meeting, those present noticed something deeply unsettling. The princess, known for maintaining remarkable composure under pressure, appeared shaken. Her expression carried the weight of information she clearly wished she had never received. While no official statement was issued, the concern was impossible to ignore. The normally confident future queen seemed burdened by a reality that was only beginning to unfold. Then attention shifted to Prince William. Later that same evening, reports began circulating that the Prince of Wales had been spending quiet time with Princess Charlotte. Those who observed the interaction described a father offering reassurance, comfort, and support. On the surface, it appeared to be a simple family moment. But within the context of everything else happening behind palace walls, it took on an entirely different meaning. Suddenly, the rumors that had once seemed exaggerated no longer felt so easy to dismiss. Meanwhile, royal insiders started connecting dots that had previously gone unnoticed. Small changes in behavior, unexpected adjustments to plans. Moments that seemed insignificant on their own, but now appeared part of a much larger story. Several claimed that something had felt unusual for weeks, yet nobody could fully understand what they were witnessing. Now, as pieces slowly began falling into place, those earlier concerns seemed far more significant. But amid the uncertainty, another development occurred that almost nobody outside the inner circle knew about. During this emotionally difficult period, Catherine reportedly received an unexpected private message. It was not from an advisor, a government official, or a senior courtier. It came from someone who understood pressure, sacrifice, and duty better than almost anyone else within the monarchy. The message came from Princess Anne, and what began with a simple note would soon reveal a connection far deeper than anyone imagined. But the chilling truth wasn't just about Charlotte's health. It was tied to a royal bond that had quietly been growing behind palace walls for months. While public attention focused on official engagements and carefully managed appearances, a deeply personal exchange was unfolding behind closed doors. Hidden from cameras and unknown to most palace staff, Princess Anne had decided it was time to reach out directly to Catherine. And what she wrote would change everything. The message arrived during one of the most emotionally exhausting periods Catherine had faced in recent memory. Questions surrounding Charlotte continued to circulate quietly within royal circles, while the pressure of maintaining stability for both her family and the institution weighed heavily on her shoulders. To the outside world, the Princess of Wales remained composed. That was what duty demanded. But behind the carefully maintained calm was a woman carrying fears, uncertainties, and responsibilities that few could fully understand. It was during this fragile moment that Princess Anne reportedly made a decision that surprised even some of those closest to her. Known throughout the royal family for her unwavering discipline and practical approach to challenges, Anne was not someone who frequently expressed emotion through grand gestures. Her support was usually demonstrated through action rather than words. That was precisely why her private outreach carried such significance. According to palace insiders, Anne personally ensured that Catherine received a confidential note intended for no one else's eyes. The contents have never been publicly revealed, and those who know what was written have remained fiercely protective of its privacy. Yet the secrecy surrounding the message has only deepened the fascination surrounding it. Those familiar with the exchange describe it as heartfelt, sincere, and profoundly personal. More importantly, it was reportedly written not as a senior royal speaking to a future queen, but as one woman reaching to another during a moment of immense personal struggle. The gesture carried extraordinary weight because of who it came from. Princess Anne has spent decades earning a reputation as one of the monarchy's toughest and most dependable figures. She is admired for her resilience, respected for her loyalty, and known for her refusal to bend under pressure. For someone with that reputation to pause and offer private words of encouragement suggested that she understood exactly what Catherine was facing. Sources close to royal circles claim Anne's message acknowledged the remarkable strength Catherine had shown throughout difficult circumstances. Rather than focusing on public expectations or royal obligations, the note reportedly recognized the emotional burden she had been carrying behind closed doors. It was an acknowledgement that Catherine's struggles were being seen, understood, and respected by someone who had spent a lifetime navigating the unique pressures of royal life. For Catherine, the impact appears to have been immediate. Those familiar with the situation suggest she was deeply moved by the gesture. At a time when uncertainty seemed to surround every decision and every headline threatened to create fresh speculation, Anne's support became something rare and invaluable. Reassurance from someone who truly understood the cost of duty. What began as a simple private note soon evolved into something much larger. Within royal circles, it quietly became a symbol of trust, mutual respect, and growing solidarity between two generations of royal women. It represented more than encouragement. It represented an emerging bond that would soon become impossible to ignore as events continued to unfold behind palace walls. Yet the significance of Anne's message went far beyond simple words of encouragement, because it revived memories of another royal woman whose influence still lingered. For decades, Princess Anne had earned a reputation unlike anyone else in the royal family. She rarely sought headlines, rarely offered public emotion, and almost never intervened in personal matters. That is precisely why her decision to support Catherine carried such extraordinary weight. The deeper royal insiders examined Anne's unexpected gesture, the more significant it appeared. This was not simply a senior royal offering encouragement during a difficult moment. It was something far more meaningful. To understand why, it was necessary to look beyond the immediate crisis and examine the woman behind the message. For years, Princess Anne had occupied a unique position within the monarchy. She was respected across generations, trusted by those inside the institution, and admired for her unwavering commitment to duty. While others often found themselves at the center of headlines, Anne remained focused on service. She built her reputation through discipline, consistency, and loyalty to the crown. That reputation did not emerge overnight. It was earned through decades of relentless dedication. Whenever challenges threatened the monarchy, Anne became known as someone who could be counted on to remain steady while others struggled. She rarely complained. She rarely sought sympathy. Instead, she embraced responsibility with a determination that many believed reflected the values of another towering royal figure whose presence still seemed to linger over the institution. For countless observers, comparisons between Princess Anne and Queen Elizabeth II have become impossible to ignore. Both women shared an understanding that service often required personal sacrifice. Both believed stability mattered more than popularity. Both understood that leadership was not measured by attention, but by endurance. As discussions about Anne's support for Catherine spread quietly through royal circles, many began to see echoes of the late Queen's approach in the Princess Royal's actions. Perhaps that was one reason why Catherine's relationship with Anne had strengthened over the years. Despite differences in age and experience, the two women appeared to share remarkably similar values. Neither was known for creating unnecessary drama. Neither seemed interested in public feuds or personal publicity. Instead, both focused on the responsibilities that came with their positions. They understood that privilege and pressure often arrived together, and that true service required resilience when circumstances became difficult. Over time, that shared understanding evolved into mutual respect. Catherine had entered the royal family under extraordinary scrutiny, facing expectations that would have overwhelmed many others. Yet she gradually established herself as a figure of stability and reliability. Anne watched that transformation unfold. She saw Catherine navigate challenges with composure, adapt to immense responsibilities, and continue moving forward despite constant public attention. The admiration was not built through a single event. It developed through years of observation. By this stage, many within royal circles were increasingly viewing Catherine as one of the institution's most important future figures. The challenges facing the monarchy were growing more complex. Public expectations continued to evolve. Questions about succession, continuity, and long-term stability were becoming impossible to ignore. Against that backdrop, Catherine was increasingly seen as a future stabilizing force capable of helping guide the monarchy through uncertain times. Anne understood this perhaps better than anyone. She recognized that Catherine's responsibilities were expanding rapidly and that the pressures she faced would only intensify in the years ahead. Her decision to reach out was not merely an act of kindness. It was an acknowledgement of the enormous role Catherine was preparing to inherit. And as that realization spread quietly through royal circles, people began to understand that Anne's support carried implications far beyond a single private note. As their connection strengthened, another realization began spreading through royal circles, and it would soon reshape the balance of power inside the monarchy. What started as private support soon appeared to evolve into something much larger. Behind the formal smiles and ceremonial appearances, observers began noticing a remarkable shift. The women of the monarchy were drawing closer together at precisely the moment the institution faced growing uncertainty. At first, the changes were subtle enough to escape widespread attention. Most people remained focused on the major headlines dominating royal coverage, unaware that a quieter story was unfolding beneath the surface. Yet among experienced royal watchers, whispers began to circulate. Something was changing. The connection between Princess Anne and Catherine seemed stronger than ever, and what had once appeared to be mutual respect was beginning to resemble a genuine partnership built on shared purpose. The timing was impossible to ignore. The monarchy was navigating one of its most delicate periods in recent memory. Public scrutiny remained relentless. Questions about the future continued to grow louder. Every appearance, every statement, and every decision seemed to carry greater significance than before. In moments like these, divisions can weaken an institution. Yet what many observers noticed instead was a growing sense of unity among the women occupying some of the monarchy's most important roles. Anne and Catherine increasingly appeared to be moving in the same direction, not because of public declarations or dramatic announcements, but because their priorities seemed remarkably aligned. Both emphasized stability. Both projected calm during periods of uncertainty. Both appeared committed to protecting the institution from unnecessary turmoil. It was as though they had quietly reached an understanding about what the monarchy needed most during a challenging chapter in its history. As this alignment became more noticeable, attention began shifting toward another figure who seemed to be part of the evolving dynamic. Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, had long been regarded as one of the royal family's most dependable members. She rarely sought attention, yet consistently demonstrated loyalty, discretion, and dedication to public service. Increasingly, observers began seeing her name mentioned alongside Anne and Catherine when discussions turned toward the monarchy's future. Together, the three women appeared to represent something powerful: continuity. Each brought different experiences, different responsibilities, and different perspectives, yet they seemed united by a common goal. At a time when uncertainty threatened to dominate the conversation surrounding the royal family, their quiet cooperation offered a different narrative. One focused not on conflict but on resilience. The significance of this emerging support network extended beyond individual relationships. It reflected a broader determination to maintain stability during a period when stability was desperately needed. While speculation and uncertainty continued swirling around the institution, these senior royal women appeared focused on the responsibilities that mattered most. They were not responding to every rumor. They were not engaging in public disputes. Instead, they seemed committed to reinforcing the foundations that had sustained the monarchy through previous challenges. Gradually, the public began noticing the shift as well. Discussions among commentators became more frequent. Articles examining the growing influence of senior royal women started appearing with increasing regularity. Even those who had not followed palace dynamics closely could sense that something important was happening. A new center of strength appeared to be forming, not through authority alone, but through trust, cooperation, and shared commitment. Yet what made this development particularly fascinating was the contrast between its quiet nature and its potentially enormous consequences. No official alliance had been announced. No grand declarations had been made. Nevertheless, Many inside royal circles were beginning to view this growing unity as one of the most significant developments within the monarchy. And as the bond between Anne, Catherine, and Sophie continued to strengthen, an unavoidable question began emerging behind palace walls. But as this alliance quietly strengthened, questions emerged about how others within the royal family viewed these developments. Inside the palace, every gesture carries meaning, and every relationship has consequences. As Anne's support for Catherine became harder to ignore, discussions reportedly intensified behind closed doors about what this growing partnership might mean for the future. What had begun as a private exchange between two royal women was now generating conversations far beyond their personal relationship. Within the palace, people whose responsibility was to monitor the institution's long-term stability were paying close attention. They understood that alliances within the royal family rarely existed in isolation. Every bond influenced decision-making. Every relationship affected the balance of influence. And increasingly, Anne's visible confidence in Catherine was being viewed as a development with far-reaching implications. According to those familiar with internal discussions, senior aides began examining what this emerging partnership represented. It was not merely a matter of personal friendship. It was becoming a reflection of trust between two figures, whose roles carried enormous significance for the monarchy's future. Some reportedly viewed Anne's support as a powerful endorsement, one that signaled confidence in Catherine's ability to shoulder even greater responsibilities in the years ahead. That interpretation gained momentum as uncertainty continued surrounding the institution. Challenges seemed to arrive from every direction. Public expectations were evolving. The demands placed upon senior royals were increasing. Questions about the future leadership of the monarchy were becoming more prominent with each passing month. Against this backdrop, the importance of dependable figures capable of providing stability became impossible to overlook. Prince William was reportedly among those who appreciated the significance of Anne's gesture. Few people understood Catherine's struggles more intimately than he did. He had witnessed the pressure she carried, the sacrifices she made, and the determination she demonstrated despite mounting challenges. For William, Anne's support may have represented something profoundly reassuring. It suggested that one of the monarchy's most respected figures recognized Catherine's strength and believed in her future role. That belief was becoming increasingly widespread. Within royal circles, confidence in Catherine appeared to be growing steadily. What once seemed like potential was gradually transforming into certainty. More and more people were beginning to view her not simply as the Princess of Wales, but as someone destined to play a central role in guiding the monarchy through an uncertain future. Her composure during difficult moments, her commitment to duty, and her ability to connect with the public had earned admiration across multiple generations. Yet admiration alone could not erase the challenges facing the institution. Behind closed doors, concerns remained. Conversations about succession, continuity, and long-term stability reportedly became more frequent, not because a crisis was imminent, but because responsible planning required looking ahead. The monarchy had survived countless storms throughout history by preparing for difficult possibilities before they arrived. Now, many believed another important transition was slowly approaching. As these discussions continued, Catherine increasingly found herself at the center of them. Not as someone seeking influence, but as someone whose future responsibilities were becoming impossible to ignore. Expectations surrounding her role expanded with every passing year. The public looked toward her for reassurance. Senior figures viewed her as a stabilizing presence. Even during periods of personal difficulty, she continued carrying the weight of those expectations with remarkable determination. What made Anne's support especially meaningful was that it arrived precisely when those responsibilities were becoming heavier than ever. Her private note was no longer being viewed simply as an act of compassion. It had become a symbol of confidence, trust, and belief in Catherine's ability to navigate whatever challenges lay ahead. And as events continued unfolding behind palace walls, it became increasingly clear that the true significance of that gesture had not yet fully revealed itself. The real test was still coming, waiting quietly beyond the horizon, ready to challenge Catherine in ways nobody could have fully anticipated. Yet the true importance of Anne's note would only become clear when Catherine faced one of the most demanding periods of her life. The months that followed tested Catherine in ways few outsiders could fully understand. Public scrutiny intensified, speculation grew louder, and every appearance seemed to carry enormous significance. Through it all, source of encouragement remained constant. As the pressure surrounding the royal family continued to build, Catherine found herself navigating a landscape that seemed increasingly unforgiving. Every decision attracted attention. Every absence generated questions. Every appearance became the subject of endless discussion. For many public figures, such circumstances would have been overwhelming. Yet for Catherine, the challenge extended far beyond public expectations. She was balancing responsibilities as a mother, a wife, a future queen, and a senior royal during a period when uncertainty appeared to touch every aspect of life. The burden was immense. Behind the headlines and public conversations was a woman attempting to protect her family while simultaneously fulfilling duties that millions expected her to carry with grace. The concerns surrounding Charlotte had not simply disappeared. Family responsibilities continued demanding emotional strength, patience, and resilience. At the same time, Catherine remained aware that the monarchy itself was navigating a period of profound change. The weight of those combined pressures could have easily forced someone into retreat. Instead, she continued moving forward. Yet even the strongest individuals require support. Throughout this difficult period, Princess Anne remained a quiet but consistent presence. She did not seek recognition for her encouragement. She did not transform her support into public statements or carefully crafted messages. Instead, she offered something far more valuable: stability, understanding, reassurance. The same qualities that had earned Anne respect throughout decades of service were now helping Catherine endure one of the most challenging chapters of her life. Those closest to the situation suggest that Catherine increasingly relied upon a circle of trusted relationships that provided strength when uncertainty threatened to take hold. William remained her closest partner and source of reassurance. Anne offered wisdom forged through years of experience. Sophie continued demonstrating loyalty and reliability. Together, they created a support system that helped Catherine remain focused despite mounting pressures. What made this period particularly remarkable was the contrast between what the public often saw and what was happening beneath the surface. Speculation continued to dominate conversations. Rumors frequently overshadowed reality. Yet while critics searched for weakness, Catherine quietly demonstrated resilience. Each challenge she faced seemed to reinforce rather than diminish public respect for her. Many people began viewing her not simply as a member of the royal family, but as a symbol of perseverance during uncertain times. That growing admiration was impossible to ignore. Across the country and beyond, support for Catherine appeared to strengthen. People recognized the dignity with which she approached difficult circumstances. They saw someone confronting enormous personal and public challenges while refusing to abandon her responsibilities. In many ways, adversity was transforming her image. Rather than weakening her position, it was solidifying her connection with those who admired her commitment. At the same time, another powerful image was beginning to emerge. The sight of senior royal women standing together during moments of uncertainty carried enormous symbolic weight. Anne, Catherine, and Sophie increasingly appeared united by shared purpose and mutual trust. Their cooperation sent a message that resonated far beyond palace walls. It suggested continuity. It suggested stability. Most importantly, it suggested strength. What had started with a single private note was becoming something much greater than anyone could have predicted. The encouragement Anne offered during a difficult moment had helped nurture a bond that now appeared capable of influencing the monarchy itself. And as public admiration continued to grow, and the unity among royal women became more visible, the story was preparing to enter an entirely new phase. What began as a private act of kindness was now evolving into something with implications far beyond personal friendship. For years, commentators focused on divisions, rivalries, and palace intrigue. But beneath those headlines, another story was emerging. A story of solidarity, resilience, and shared commitment among the women tasked with protecting the monarchy's future. The fascination with conflict has always surrounded the royal family. Stories of disagreements, competing interests, and internal tensions often dominate public attention because they are dramatic, emotional, and impossible to ignore. Yet while many remained focused on searching for cracks within the institution, something entirely different had been developing beneath the surface. A quieter story, a stronger story, one built not on rivalry but on unity. By this stage, the connection between Catherine, Princess Anne, and Sophie had become increasingly difficult to overlook. They came from different generations and traveled different paths into their royal roles, yet they appeared bound together by a common understanding of duty. Each woman had experienced the extraordinary pressures that came with life inside the monarchy. Each understood the sacrifices required, and each seemed committed to ensuring that personal challenges never overshadowed the responsibilities entrusted to them. What made their growing alignment so significant was the timing. The monarchy was navigating a period filled with uncertainty, public scrutiny, and constant speculation about its future. Institutions often reveal their greatest strengths during their most difficult moments, and many observers began viewing the cooperation between these senior royal women as precisely that, a source of strength when stability mattered most. Rather than allowing uncertainty to define the narrative, they appeared determined to reinforce confidence in the institution. Their commitment was not expressed through dramatic statements or public declarations. Instead, it emerged through consistency, professionalism, and an unwavering focus on service. That quiet determination sent a powerful message. While circumstances changed and challenges evolved, the principles guiding them remained remarkably steady. As public attention shifted, so too did public perception. Increasingly, conversations about the future of the monarchy centered not only on constitutional roles or succession plans, but also on the individuals helping preserve its stability. Catherine's growing influence became more widely acknowledged. Anne's experience continued earning admiration. Sophie's reliability attracted increasing respect. Together, they represented a model of leadership rooted in dedication rather than personal ambition. For many people, this evolving dynamic carried deeper symbolic meaning. It highlighted the important role women had played throughout the monarchy's history and the role they continued to play in shaping its future. From Queen Elizabeth's decades of service to Anne's steadfast commitment and Catherine's emergence as a future queen, a pattern was becoming increasingly visible. During moments of uncertainty, strong female leadership often became one of the institution's greatest sources of resilience. That realization only increased interest in the private note that had started this remarkable journey. What once appeared to be a simple gesture of support was now viewed through an entirely different lens. The message Anne sent during Catherine's difficult period had become a defining moment in their relationship. It represented trust. It represented understanding. Most importantly, it represented the beginning of a partnership that seemed destined to influence the monarchy far beyond the circumstances that first brought them together. Looking back, it became clear that the note was never merely about comfort. It was about recognition. Anne saw the responsibilities Catherine was carrying long before many others fully appreciated them. She understood the challenges that lay ahead and chose to offer support at exactly the moment it was needed most. In doing so, she helped strengthen a bond that would come to symbolize something much larger than strength alone. And as the future of the crown came into sharper focus, the significance of that quiet gesture became impossible to ignore. What began with a private note ended with a powerful message to the nation. In a period marked by uncertainty, illness, and growing challenges, the strongest response did not come from public statements or grand ceremonies. It came from unity. Looking back at everything that unfolded, it is remarkable how a simple act of compassion gradually transformed into something far greater. At the beginning, it was merely a private gesture exchanged during a difficult moment. There were no official announcements, no public acknowledgement, no expectation that anyone beyond a small inner circle would ever know it had happened. Yet that single note carried a significance that would become clearer with each passing month. When Catherine faced uncertainty, Princess Anne offered support. When pressure intensified, that support remained constant. And when the future seemed increasingly unpredictable, the bond created by that gesture continued to grow stronger. What made the story so compelling was not the note itself, but what it represented. It symbolized trust during a time of doubt. It symbolized understanding during a period of isolation. Most importantly, it symbolized the enduring strength that can emerge when people choose solidarity over division. At the heart of this story is Catherine. Over the course of these challenging months, her role within the monarchy appeared to evolve in ways that many observers had anticipated but few fully appreciated. The responsibilities she carried became heavier. The expectations placed upon her became greater. Yet rather than retreating from those demands, she seemed to embrace them with increasing determination. Every challenge tested her. Every obstacle demanded resilience. And every difficult moment strengthened the perception that she was preparing for an even larger role in the years ahead. For many, that role is clear. Catherine is increasingly viewed as a future queen whose influence will help shape the next chapter of the monarchy. Yet her journey has never been defined solely by titles or future responsibilities. It has been defined by perseverance, by duty, by an ability to remain steady when circumstances become difficult. Those qualities earned admiration, not only from the public but also from individuals within the institution who understood exactly what those responsibilities required. Among them was Princess Anne. Her support demonstrated the power of experience guiding the future. It reflected a belief that the monarchy's strength does not come from individual personalities alone, but from the relationships that help sustain it during challenging times. Anne, Catherine, and Sophie each contributed something unique, yet together they represented a powerful reminder that service remains one of the institution's most enduring foundations. As public confidence continued to grow, many people began viewing this unity as a source of reassurance. In an era often dominated by uncertainty and constant change, the sight of senior royal women working together offered something increasingly rare: stability. It suggested that while challenges may evolve, the values that have guided the monarchy for generations remain firmly intact. Perhaps that is the most important lesson of all. Long after the speculation fades and the headlines move on, what remains are the principles that carried these individuals through difficult times: duty, loyalty, resilience, trust. Those values shaped Anne's decision to reach out. They strengthened Catherine during moments of pressure, and they helped create a partnership that now stands as a symbol of continuity for the future. In many ways, the monarchy now appears to be entering a new era, not one defined solely by transition or uncertainty, but by cooperation, shared purpose, and the determination to preserve stability through changing times. At the center of that story is a bond that began quietly, strengthened steadily, and ultimately became impossible to ignore. Because in the end, the most powerful alliances are not announced from palace balconies. They are forged quietly, in moments of trust, and built to endure long after the headlines fade. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in next one.